Yo, what's up guys? What is going on? Here is Bart, MCOC player. You might know me from Twitter or something. X, I prefer Twitter anyway. So, welcome. This is my first video on my channel about creating some concepts for Marvel Contest of Champions. And today this is first video about concept Mania. Some sort of name for it. I just think of it for a few minutes. And basically, what is it all about? I am creating here some concepts for new champions, like those who are still not in this game, like Blockhorde, maybe Legion, Hobgoblin, something like that. Or, as you can see on this photo, there are some champions currently in the game, and those guys gonna get their buffs on this channel, in the series, Concept Mania. So, our first target are Gambit and Roach. Roach? For me it's Roach. Sometimes I'm spelling Roach, but it's probably wrong. I don't know. So Gambit and Roach. Basically, let's face it, Gambit is pretty okay champion here in Contest of Champions, while Roach kinda underrated in my humble opinion. But yeah, she needs like value buff if not moderate, because I think overall will be overkill, you know what I mean? While Gambit maybe moderate or value as well. So I've got some ideas about this guy, and so let's check this out, okay? So first, you can see here this Gambit that we currently have in the game. This is from Aunt May. Very fun and very interesting page for MCOC players. Oh, sorry, sorry, not yet. And let's check this out. He's got some stuff like blocking when charging heavy attacks, stun, medium, heavy, yada yada yada. His flak jacket, his specials, what they do, all of them. Special attack 1, 2, and 3, and of course quick ability. Pretty basic stuff, right? So I'll be referring to this very often. So yeah, to see what I changed or not. I'm gonna see about that. So let's check this out. This is my concept here. Yeah, my logo on the carbon one. Yeah, I need to work on that. Anyway, so let's start this concept, reading the concept. Yeah. So first, blocking. Gambit charges his weapons while holding block, gaining a kinetic charge every 0.30 seconds, max at 10. And this is a new thing because basically Gambit charges his weapons for for 0.40 seconds. So that's the thing. And kinetic charges build up more slowly as Gambit accumulates more of them. I removed this, in my opinion. This is like a useless. And instead, I gave him each kinetic charge grants Gambit flat plus 10% perfect block chance, and those are unaffected by ability accuracy modification. So, if I remember correctly, this works only when he's Horseman of Apocalypse. Because I need to remember it, because I guess in synergy with Apocalypse, Gambit basically get those. He was like each time, yeah, it was a kinetic charge is gained. There's probably some sort of chance for one additional, and there's like a cooldown between it. I don't remember how does it work, but okay. And yeah, as a horseman, he got this 10% perfect block chance for each charge, and I was thinking, why he can have it as his own kit, like, why? I mean, that will be definitely better for him because, I mean, of course you can say that synergies are for it, but for example, let's face it, right now the most played content in MCOC are battlegrounds, and you can't use synergy there. You can't. And I mean, without this Pathway Black, you can survive, right? But the point is, there's a lot of champs with high block penetration, and god damn it, this is so. I mean, Hulkling or Valkyrie, god damn it. Alright, so in my opinion, it would be better for him to have this Perfect Black. So, going further, when charging heavy attack, and this, I removed something and given something new, which is Gambit gains non-stack and energize buff that increases his combat power rate by plus 50% for 16 seconds. And the point is that in previous kit, that was his main damage source, because Gambit cashes out, converting his kinetic charges to prowess buffs, each increasing special damage by 30% for 16 seconds. But hold a minute. Hold on. Listen to me. I gave him something new. When activating special attack. Gambit cashes out, converting his kinetic charges to prowesses passive. Not buffs. Passive. Increasing his special damage by 30% for 30 seconds. Each prowess grants Gambit plus 15% perfect back chance, max at 150. So the point is, first, those prowesses are now converted from kinetic charges on activating his special, right? So, previously, right now, it is charge your heavy and you get those prowesses. And I was thinking, okay, this is not big deal, right? Just parry, heavy, prowesses. And I was thinking, this might work, but not in every scenario. Like, for example, when there's a Purify champion or some sort of node that makes him, the opponent, stun immune or give him a chance to Purify, it might be hard. It might be really hard to just parry heavy and then go for the special. So I was thinking, just do it on the activating the special and everything will be fine. And the second point is passives. Prowesses are now passives, not buffs, because, okay, prowess removal from tech champions is very often to see that in most of tech champions. For example, Buff Iron Man or Nimrod. And second point is, when they are buffs, they can be easily nullified by some sort of node or just mystic champions simply by the mistakes. Like, nullifying buffs isn't very hard for them to do, right? But passives. Only thing that could remove these prowesses are just prowess removal. Something like that. So with this, he will be definitely less. You know what I mean? What I want to say? Oh yeah. Basically, against Mystic Champions, there will be no chance for nullifying his main damage source. I need to work on my language. Alright. And the third point is 30 seconds. Let's face it, 16 seconds is not short period of time, right? 16 seconds. Something in 15 seconds, something can happen, but beautiful for us to just do damage and say goodbye. And I mean, right now, if you have enough power and enough luck and you're enough fast, you can go for 2 special tools with 16 prowesses when they are almost expiring, right? Maybe there are some hardcore Gambit player that can go for 3 special tools, but I think it's almost impossible. But let's face it, in MCOC, nothing is impossible, because you think, okay, nothing will, make me feel like this is a miracle. And for example, yesterday Kabam just teases that way that they will add battery. Oh, sorry, sorry. Yeah, battery will get teased, and probably he will be. Yeah, I guess somebody said he will be released with Chatra, and this will be like a summer track, like Morbius was, something like that. Anyway, so 30 seconds for me, like 3 special tools in 10 seconds, job done. And let's go further. You might think about this energize. What is it for? What is it for? And let me tell you this, that additionally when energize is active, Gambit gains 1 additional prowess passive for each kinetic charge, and that maxes up at 20 prowesses. So I didn't decrease the potency of his prowesses, because it will be anyway overpowered at 10 stacks. His special damage is increased up to 300%, yes? Yep. And the point is, I mean, you don't have to, you wouldn't be have to doing this charging heavy stuff. But if you can, go for it, charge your heavy to get this energized buff. And do some nasty stuff with 20 prowesses. Just imagine this, that like 600 increased special damage would basically rock everyone. Maybe not everyone, but you know what I mean. That would be insane damage. Like, I guess 7-star rank 1 can do like 120k on special 2. But with this, you will be doing double of it, probably. Like, one special 2 on the rank 1 7-star would go for 240k, maybe even higher, I don't know. So, yeah, that's just concept, but I think even right now, it seems like he will be better than this. I mean, Gambit is pretty much okay champion. In synergy with Apocalypse and as a horseman, he rocks. Already rocks. But with this concept, maybe it will be better, I don't know. I'm gonna leave it for you. So, now we've got stun and personal debuffs. Previously it was only stun, and yeah, what I changed? Each stun debuff on the opponent reduces the regeneration rate and combat power rate by 50% while active. Previously it was, right now it's 40%. And all stun debuffs are currently on the opponent are paused for the duration of Gambit special attacks. Why I change it to Gambit personal debuffs. Personal debuffs. All debuffs. Currently on the opponent are paused for the duration of Gambit special attacks, and while Gambit charges his heavy attack. So, for example, you've got this stun, for example, from Parry Mastery or Special 1. And you're gonna just charge your heavy, and you're gonna pause it this time. It would work like Mr. Sinister is pausing his stun when he's charging his heavy. So, yeah, it could work out. Maybe. So, yeah. Charge your heavy to pause stun or anything like concussion. And each stun reduces opponent's regen rate and combat power rate by 50%, which means like 100% of 2 stuns. Okay. So, medium, heavy, special, and special 1 and special 2. These attacks utilize a burst of kinetic energy damage. Kinetic energy. Striking with them reduces the damage of the opponent's passive degen and direct damage effects by 100% for 0.45 seconds. And the point is, like previously it was 0.20. Yeah, 0.20 seconds. But I just increased it to 0.35. Just for fun, nothing big, nothing new. Flag jacket. This is something that I didn't change that much because, yeah, again with the games, like jacket charters, yeah, nothing new. And this is something that changed, which is while flag jacket is active, Gambit gains plus 1500 armor rating. This is not new. And in common bleed and the rupture effects suffer minus 150 potency, and Gambit's ability accuracy can't be reduced by non-tag champions. And I mean, Bleed was already in his kit. Bleed resistance. Yeah. While I gave him again Rupture resistance. Because Rupture, as I saw, is getting more popularity or something. Oh, basically, let me check this out. Rupture. Alright. So, how many champs right now have it? Like, we've got Anti-Venom, we've got Captain America, Sam Wilson, we've got Guillotine, but when she's awakened, Jessica Jones, Lady Deathstrike, Rintra, Sasquatch, we've got Spider-Man in 2099, Spot, Tigra, War Machine, Werewolf by Night, of course. And I mean, this is not a huge amount of champions, but there is more of them, like Awakened Morbius, there's Miles Morales again, yeah, there's a Rocket, Raccoon. And I mean, why he couldn't have it? Like, Rupture and Bleed resistance will be fun for him, very useful utility, and ability accuracy can't be reduced by non-tag champions. So, basically, when a flag jacket is active, he's immune to most standard word reduces ability accuracy, like concussion. This is something like when Iron Man gets his armor up, at least one, he's immune to Incinerate, Cold Snap, and Frostbite, but it works like here, like when Gambit gets this flag jacket, his ability accuracy can't be reduced. And he got Bleed and Rupture resistance. And this is nothing new, just old stuff. So let's check his signature ability, which is Raging Cajun. And what are you giving it? So Preps is passive, now also Grand Gambit. Plus 36.59 to 180 plus 64 critical damage rating and critical rating each. I believe in that just adding critical damage rating. Yeah, critical damage rating. So I gave him critical rating, so for example his special to at 20 prowesses will be instant crit. Like, no way. Additionally, his flak jacket. Okay, this is old, I remember it. Yeah. I guess I just increased this number. I don't know why, but I just did it. And there's a new thing, which is charge and heavy attack while flag jacket is active, generates passively 6.85% of power per second. So when he will charge his heavy, he will gain power, just like Red Skull is doing right now. So let's get to the special attacks. So the point is that right now, if the opponent does not have an active armor buff, Gambit right now, all hits gain 20% ability accuracy on basically all of his hits, not only special attacks. Special attacks, all his hits gain plus 20% ability accuracy. Why I just remove it? I don't know why, because I was thinking, let's just have fun with gamble. Like, that's how the gamble probably should work. You don't have 100% chance, so just get fun, just have fun. And this here gains impact passive that increases his block penetration by 50% for 22 seconds. And the point is again, armor buff. Not armor passive, not armor effect. Buff. This is keyword, buff. This is gonna work on champions that have passive, buff. That's not gonna work, this impact, when they have buff. But it is gonna work again, champions with passive armor up? I believe it could. And here we go with Gambit personal debuffs from his special attacks can be inflicted through the opponent's block. Through the block. So for example, special 1, last hit have an 85% chance to inflict up to 2 3.5 second stun debuffs. Which means that there's 85% chance that if you're gonna block this special, you're gonna get inflicted with stun through the block. You know what I mean? Like, you should be even happy with this concept that he doesn't have his 20% ability accuracy increased. Because there's still this, 50% chance that you will not get this stun. So I don't know what I was thinking, but I was thinking that's gonna be fun. So this from 1 3.5 second stun debuff to 2 stuns. So 100% regenerate reduction. Why not? Then we go with special 2, Bayo Beatdown, which is this attack has a 100% chance to inflict a concussion debuff. Not 85, but 100%. Why not? That reduces ability accuracy of your opponent by 85% for 80 seconds. This is the same potency, but increased this duration by plus 5 seconds. So this was like 30 seconds, now it's 80. And it is affected by class relationship. Yep. And this is a new thing. On activation of this attack, Gambit activates unblockable passive for 1 second point 80 and is paused for 5 seconds if these attacks make contact with the opponent, or for 10 seconds if these attacks break the opponent's block. So the deal is, this special 2 works just like Hulkbuster specials, like Serpent. When he activates this special, there is this short period of time that this unblockable is on, and when this breaks the block, this is paused. I mean, I guess this is something fun, new. Like, for example, you were thinking it's gonna go for special 2 with no harm for you, but somehow AI is that so passive that it just threw the block, just hold the block, and the special 2 would go on the block. That's wasted. But no, with this concept, no annoying and passive AI will be the problem, because special 2 will be unblockable for the first 1 second point 80. So why just not mess around? And yeah, this is the point where why you should have dexterity on, because you don't want to get clipped by the special, especially to just play with unblockable Gambit for the next 10 seconds. We all know that 10 seconds can be really life changing. Yeah. Then we go with special 3. And I just rename it to, the name is Gambit, mon ami. Remember it. Shout out to X-Men 97. Probably one of my most favorite Marvel TV shows ever. One of the best, that's for sure. And I believe that previously it was the Royal Flash. Something like that. And the only thing I changed, because it was like 85% chance to inflict up to 2 stuns, 5 seconds. I changed it to 150 chance percent and up to 3 5 second stun debuffs that are expiring 1 by 1. So 50 second stun each. I mean 50 second stun, because 5 second stun each. So just have fun with stunning the opponent and just doing some nasty stuff with this guy. So yeah, that's my concept, my buff concept. I would say it's moderate, but maybe even this overall, I am not sure about that. So this is my buff concept for Gambit. And yeah, let's go further with Gambit's love interest, which is that, she is Roach. I mean, probably most of you know her, so I don't need to say who she is and why. Probably most of people when they were watching at first X-Men from 90s had huge crush on her. No way. Like, count me in. But anyway, right now in MCOC, on paper, she got pretty interesting concept, right? Buff Steel, this is really new. Just buff stealing from champions and you're dealing damage. But the point is that in my opinion this timer on buff stealed effects is really short, like 2.50 seconds. Yes, I know you can pause it by hitting the opponent or they block, but sometimes specials of these opponents are really long because specials from like 220 or something, 2020 are getting maybe even firm, maybe even earlier, but they're getting really long. Like for example, Apocalypse Special 1, Apocalypse Special 2, like Bullseye Special 1, Bullseye Special 2. Damn, those are pretty long specials, no way. So this time it would really expire really fast. So yeah, and basically she absorbed the power of Karen Danvers, the original Miss Marvel, and the thing she got is mutant creep physiology decreasing the duration of debuffs by 70%. That's the only thing she got. So I made it a little bit different. So after absorbing the power of Karen Danvers, the original Miss Marvel, Roach possessed the imaginary mutant amalgamate. Amalgamated. Okay, sorry. Kill me before I sorry. Mutant creep physiology, decreasing the duration of debuffs by 70%. Additionally, due to absorbing Miss Marvel powers and abilities, Roach is immune to all known poisons in Battle Realm, as because Karen Danvers, in all her three forms in MCOC, she is immune to poison. So, this doesn't make sense maybe for you, but for me, why not? Just for fun, like, Recon Mastery is not a big deal for her. And as you can see, there is nothing that much to say about this, because it's like, what I changed? Almost nothing, like, what? Okay, maybe not nothing, because there's still some stuff that increased, decreased, or something. Yeah, let me check something. Okay, Roach, powers, mana absorption. Okay. Yeah, there is nothing said that she's poison immune. I probably screwed this up, but just for fun, okay? Just for fun. And basically, so what she got there? And her signature ability. Absorbing the very fabric of enemy psych, every life or power still has a 23.65 up to 39.96% chance to be critical, increasing the amount of absorbed. And what I did here, 25.65 up to 54.96 chance to be critical. So just increase it up to over half of 100% chance. So additionally, critical life for power steal grant the Roach and power gain passive, giving her 20% of her full power over 8 seconds. So if you would crit with life or power steal, you gain power. Power steal plus power gain, she will be nuts to play with. So special one, skin to skin. Replicates 5 of the opponent's active buffs I believe that I just increased the amount of buffs she could steal and extended this timer. Let's check this out. Sorry. Opponent cannot activate those buffs as long as Roach holds them. Roach replicates effects that not work on opponents of the tech class or unstoppable buffs, which I basically gave her anyway. So, for example, she at some point was able to fight with Juggernaut, I guess. So why she can't just steal his unstoppable? Roach can copy the following buffs: Regen, Fury, Precision, Armor Up, Creativity, Physical and Energy Resistance, Power Gain, Prowess, Energize, and Aptitude. And what I give her? So, Regen, Fury, Precision, Armor Up, Creativity, Physical and Energy Resistance, Power Gain. Yes. I removed Prowess because I gave it to her anyway. Yeah. Roach gains a Prowess passive every 10 seconds, increasing her special attack damage by 10%, stacking up to 5 times. Prowess passive lasts indefinitely until consumed, so every 10 seconds there is a timer, she gains this Prowess passive just for damage. And it's not a buff, because I gave her something new. So, this is Pierce, Energize, Aptitude, Unstoppable, Unbreakable, or True buffs. Select True Sense, True Focus, True Sense if there is any. I mean, yeah, there is Sense, yes. Hair keys, but I mean True Strike. Stolen buffs are copied with the same potency. Replicated buffs last until 12.50 seconds timer expires, after which they are nullified. This timer is refreshed when the roach strikes the opponent's block, or they strikes the opponent, or they block. And this is the second hit of this attack deals 2823.38 energy damage, and then regenerates Roach for the same amount of health, and the Roach is healed for 100% of life stolen. Okay, and what is here? Yeah, this is basically the same. Yep. So special one just gave her more buffs, increase the timer, extend the timer, and nothing new. Special 2 Face Punch. This is the same animations, of course, and there's something like this: Power Steal, taking 9% of the power as her own. And I mean, I think that might be not the best idea, but I just was thinking, why not? Roach converts all the stolen buffs into Prowess buff that increases her special damage by 15% per unique stolen buff. And Prowess lasts 16 seconds. Yeah, shout out to old Gambit. I mean, current Gambit standard, Prowess duration. And this is basically like 75% increased special damage, I guess. This Prowess is powered upon its special attacks. And additionally, when Prowess buff is active on her, Roach gains plus 2500 critical rating and plus 340 critical damage rating. So, special damage plus insane critical damage and nice critical rating. Okay, that's all. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna check this out. What was here? Yeah, basically on special 2 she just gained that 9% of the power as her own. And special 3, Lethal Kiss. 100% chance to power steal, taking 27% of the power as her own. Yep. Activates one buff tab that was replicated during the fight, so she can just like replicate this buff? Yeah, this said replicate this buff. And buffs stay active as long as the Roach keeps touching the opponent. The opponent cannot activate those buffs as long as Roach holds them. And it is new. Inflicts Degeneration. I guess I forget to say that it's supposed to be passive. Dealing 10% of the Roach max special damage rating as direct damage over 10 seconds. This is new, I mean, like, we know what kind of effect Roach have. on her opponent when she touches them, they go in a numb. Like, if death will be beautiful, then she will be symbol of death. Like, no way, she's gonna touch you. You're almost on the other world, on the other side. Almost. You're just entering into some sort of coma state. So Degen will be kind of fun, I guess. So, that's the roadmap. Let me know what you think about this, because that's only buffs. I would say it's a moderate or value buff or something. But now, as we are done with buffs, let's have fun with new stuff, which are new champions. And basically, this first episode is supposed to be reference to X-Men 97. And I know what you guys said about Jean Grey. You want Phoenix to get buffed. And you will get her buffed. I promise. I promise. But for now, I am pretty much... I get so much fun creating her. Like, she's Jean Grey, Omega level telepath, one of the most powerful mutants in X-Men fandom. Like, holy cow. She needs to be added to this game as soon as possible, in my opinion. I know you guys won't get just Phoenix get buffed, but Phoenix is a cosmic force that just entered Jean's body, while Jean herself is one of the most powerful telepaths in the world. Marvel world, I mean. So let's get to the job. Let's see what I've done here. Mental attacks. And I just need to say it. I was thinking about these mental attacks and mental damage. And let's be honest, I've had so much fun. Like, as imagine this, that this mental damage, you literally can say it's emotional damage. Oh my god, I've got so much fun with this. So, Jean's medium, heavy, and special attacks are non-contact energy. Those attacks are dealing mental damage. Mental damage / emotional damage, I just love it. These attacks are able to bypass opponents' unstoppable, evade, miss, and auto-block effects because she's literally entering your mind. She's inside your head. She sees your thoughts, like she can stop you from being able to miss, outblock, or evade. Like, I was thinking it's gonna be a fun idea. Additionally, they deal 100% of the damage dealt through the opponent's block as the burst of mental damage. So, even when the opponent is blocking, and she's doing her stuff with mediums, heavy, or even specials, it doesn't stop here. She can deal this damage even through the block. Something like that. Mental damage is unaffected by armor, physical, or energy resistance. Because there's like, if there would be mental resistance, then maybe yes, but it is not. It is unaffected by armor, physical, or energy resistance. It is inside your head. She's inside you. And mental attacks inflicts on the opponent neuroshocks passive that are dealing 150% of her critical damage rating as energy damage over 12 seconds. So, reference to Onslaught. I mean, Onslaught can inflict those neuroshocks on his own attacks. Why she can do this? Why she can have 100% chance of inflicting this neuroshock on her mental attacks. So this is something like that. Heavy. On heavy contact, Genie inflicts the opponent with concussion debuff that reduces opponent's ability accuracy by 35% for 30 seconds, max 3 stacks. Concussion, I think you know why. Mental shielding passive. Jean Grey's telepathic abilities allow her to read the opponent's thoughts and manipulate their minds and grants her ability to reduce opponent's ability power rate by 50%, purify ability accuracy by 100%, and also ability to reverse opponent's controls during her specials. So, champions like Hyperion or any champion with power gain will gain less power because she will reduce it, like naturally. Purify ability accuracy, say goodbye, and reverse controls. One of the most annoying things in this game, in my opinion. Like Magneto, probably Juggernaut if his gem of Citric is active, would not have a problem with her, probably. And she's also immune to other psychic attacks of her opponents, which makes her immune to reverse control, concussion, and damage reflection. So psychic shielding, and again concussion immunity and damage reflection. So don't worry about Mysterio or any kind of node with damage reflection. Going further, we've got psionic charges passive, max 15. When charging heavy attack, Jean generates psionic charges every 0.20 seconds. Psionic charges are increasing potency and duration of her personal concussions and power sticks, as well are increasing damage dealt by mental attacks by 2% per charge. So, when you're charging your heavy, you're gaining your charges. Like, when Gambit is blocking, he's gaining his kinetic charges. And while she's charging her heavy, she's gaining her psionic charges. And is increasing the potency and duration of her concussions and power sticks. Yeah, she got power sticks, just like Emma Frost. During charging heavy attack, Jean Grey enters her astral projection form, yeah, kind of, and opponent attacks have a 100% chance to miss, and each missed hit grants her one additional psionic charge. As a defender, Jean gains psionic charges every 0.25 seconds. So, when she's charging her heavy, she's able to go through like phasing. Like for example, Massacre is just, when he threw his special 2 through the opponent's block, he became phasing or something, and you can hit him. You can hit him for this short period of time, while she is unable, you can't touch her when she's charging heavy, just because. Like, Moondragon after doing her special 1, Professor Xavier, Professor X, when he reaches this 10 stacks of his filter or something. This is something like that. And as a defender, Jean gains psionic charges every 0.25 seconds. Just like Gladiator is gaining his confidence buffs as a defender. So, for example, any champion with true sense or just ability to bypass miss will be great counter for her. So, I guess there is nothing to worry about. If you have any miss counter champion, you will be safe. And when reaching 50 charges, Jean Grey enters her full mental focus state for 30 seconds, and when this is active, she became immune to all stun, disorient, distraction, yes, this is existing. Squirrel Girl got it. She became immune to infuriate, intimidate, taunt, power drain, power burn, power steal, power lock, and special effects. While in this mode, Jean Grey gains prowess passive that increases her special attack damage by 150% indefinitely until full mental state focus ends. During this state, Jean's special attacks grants no power to the opponent. So, when she enters the full mental focus state, she is like in her prime. You can't distract her, you can't just, do anything that would just distract her, okay? So she's in her prime, as I said. She gains so much immunities and immunity to power control, and again, this prowess and no power from specials for her opponents. Something new, okay? I was thinking it's gonna be fun. Mind control passive. When opponent is suffering from concussion or power sting, Jean gains indefinite prowess buff every 0.30 seconds that increase her special damage by 5%, max 20 stacks. Prowesses last until consumed by the special. So she is gaining her prowesses when the opponent is concussed or power sting. And there is, each time the opponent gains a unique buff, Jean has 100% chance to gain a 10-second power gain passive, which grants her 5% of bar of power every second, max 3 stacks. So against champions with unique buffs, basically cosmics, she will gain power. So 50% of bar of power every second if people will gain any unique buff. Just like that. And telekinetic force, blocking. When Jean holds block, she generates telekinetic bubble around herself, reducing incoming damage to 0. So perfect back chance. So she is able to create some sort of telekinetic bubble around her to protect her and others. So I think it's gonna be fun animation. Something like Invisible Woman have. And this is damage reduction to 0. Like, you will be unbeatable, you will be unbreakable, unbreakable with this shield or whatever. When telekinetic force is active, she reduces the damage of opponent's damage over time effects by 150% and also reduces duration of non-damaging debuffs by 70%. So damage over time reduction and this non-damaging debuffs duration will be OP in my opinion. Like, it doesn't matter, just hold block. If you're suffering from any bleed, hold your block. If you're suffering from degen passive or something, hold your block. You will be safe. I don't know why I was thinking about this, but I think it's a sick idea. When blocking, Jean deals 50% of her critical damage rating as a burst of mental damage when opponent strikes her block. This increased to 100% and 150% if opponent breaks her block with unblockable or heavy attack. So when she's holding her block and you're hitting her, it's basically, oh yeah, I've got my volume, okay. Okay. And when you're hitting her block, you're taking damage. So as a defender, I would recommend to hit her block, really, or even think about charging with unblockable. Like for example, Shocker is able to. Opponents have 50% chance to be inflicted with Neuroshock passive when hitting Jean's great block. So that's another reason why you shouldn't hit her block. If you don't want to get clipped with Neuroshock or this damage, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. And we're coming to the end of her content, I mean. Signature ability. Omega level telepath. And this is power sting stuff about her special one. Power stings after consuming have a from 10 up to 85% chance to be re-inflicted itself indefinitely. So this means unaffected by consumption and are as a passive. I'll come back to this power sting just right in special one. When entering her astral form during heavy attack charge, psionic charges are generated 50% faster. So they're charging like in 0.20 and 50%. So that means that like every 0.10 seconds she will be gaining those charges even faster. So as an attacker on battlegrounds, she will be faster, that's for sure. And increases resistance to all form of psychic and incendiary damage by 30 up to 50%. This is reference to Phoenix, like incinerates. Like she's able even without Phoenix to generate this flaming psionic something and stuff. So I give her incinerate resistance. Just for fun. Alright, here we come into the special one, which is Psychic Shock. Jin unleashes a concentrated blast of telekinetic energy. So, this is something like Professor X special one or something. Like this first and last hit of his, that will be just the same. And the opponent can gain power during this special due to the indefinite power lock plus 6 seconds after ending the special. So they are power locked, even though in her full mental state she's just power locking them, just like that. And the last hit inflicts indefinite power sting debuff that deals a burst of 2370.84 direct damage after opponents activate their special attack, consuming power sting. Jin inflicts one additional power sting charge per 2 psionic charges, max at 25 power stings. So, psionic charges are really important if you want to deal this massive power sting damage. And don't worry, they are indefinite, so you don't have to worry about like ending this power sting before they code even their damage, because they are indefinite. And with signature ability at max sig, she would have 85% chance to re-inflict them as a passive, and they will be unaffected by consumption, so she'll deal power sting damage loop if that will work out. If that will work out, you know? So Psychic Shock is just like that. Special 2, Mental Shutdown. Jin overwhelms the opponent's mind with surge of telepathic force. I'm not sure how those is supposed to look like. I mean, maybe some sort of mind control with big burst at the end or something. Just something like that. This attack refreshes all neuroshocks and pauses them for 12 seconds. So if there are any neuroshock active, she'll refresh it and pause it. Last hit of this attack passively stuns opponent for 5 seconds. So just stun at the end. And Jin enters her full mental focus state, and on activation she inflicts opponent with 70% concussion passive that lasts indefinitely till full mental focus state ended. So if you don't have enough charges from these psionic charges to okay, a little bit of teasing. Okay, so we don't have enough psionic charges to enter this state. You just can go for the special 2, and this full mental state will be achieved. So special 3, mind to mind, like face to face, mind to mind. Jin enters the opponent's mind, assaulting them with a barrage of telepathic attacks, 10 hits. So imagine like this onslaught special 3, this really close to it. She inflicts a permanent fatigue debuff, reducing the opponent's critical rating by 300%. I really didn't have any idea what to do with this special. And Jin on activation gains 2 prowess passive for each psionic charge currently active on her. Each prowess passive increases her special damage by 2% and maxes out at 100 stats. Prowesses last 25 seconds. So 50 psionic charges active, go for the special 3. 100 prowesses. And that will be instant knockdown, like no actual way. In my opinion, we really need Jean Grey. And would you like to see her just like that? Or maybe a little bit nerfed, because I think it might be a little bit overpowered, I'm not gonna lie. But trust me, this, what you just literally saw a few seconds before, will probably change Marvel Contest of Champions in terms of best tech champion. Maybe that's overkill, what I'm saying right now. But trust me, when I was creating this guy, I literally had so much plans for him to be one of the best tag champions, if not the best. Bastion. this beast from X97 at some point was like just unknown, and then turned out to be the big bad of this show. I was like, holy freaking shit! Bastion as the main villain. Like, holy moly. I just love it. I mean, I'm not supporting like people like this, but as a villain, oh boy, oh boy, he rocked. And his last transformation, oh my god. And yeah, I did include it here. So you're gonna wanna see that. So let's go further with it. Plasma passive, max 99 stacks. All of base gen attacks have a 45% chance to inflict plasma passive that deals 1279 energy damage over 14 seconds and has the properties of both Incinerate, reduces Perfect Black chance by 50%, maxes out at 100%, and Shock, ignores armor and physical resistance but is affected by energy resistance, even though that is the same like Incinerate, but I just want to give it something here. And as a defender, attackers' attacks have 40% chance to inflict with plasma passive, to inflict themselves with plasma passive. Bastion medium's attacks refreshes all plasmas currently on the opponent with inflicting 1 plasma passive additional charge. And when plasma is active, all of Bastion attacks can be evaded auto-blocked by the opponent. If any of these effects will be prevented, Bastion will do extra burst of 110% energy damage of plasma max damage. So, plasma. This is something that we don't have any champion immune to plasma. Onslaught is not immune to plasma. Dust is not immune to plasma. Bishop is not immune to plasma effect. So I mean, like, that would be pretty much powerful stuff. Really powerful stuff. And refreshing them with mediums, and if you want plasma additional, dope in my opinion. And when plasma is active, opponent can't evade and auto-block his attacks. And if any of this is prevented, he deals extra damage. So, any champions, mutant champions for example, with evade, like Nightcrawler, like Domino, they are pretty much done. Or auto-block. Is there any mutant with auto-block? I believe not, because there is only like a passive, Mega Sentinel, Penny Parker Overseer, and there is some Wilson, Dark Hawk, Guardian, Modak, one of my most annoying, like one of my most hated champions on defense. That's because of his auto-block. I hate this guy. Will be done. So this is plasma. This is the fact that it's have. So basically, medium attacks have 100% chance to inflict plasma. So parry against Nightcrawler, medium, plasma active, no evade for the entire fight as long as plasma is active. So now going to the blocking stuff. Bastion both as an attacker and defender. While blocking, he generates armor passive. Yeah, reference to Gambit. So buffs, no buffs, no buffs, just passive. Every 0.35 seconds, max 15 stacks. Armor up increases Bastion armor rating by 654.5 each for 30 seconds. Additionally, each armor up provides him 552.35 attack proficiency and 627.88 energy resistance. Additionally, when at least one armor up charge is active, Bastion can block all unblockable attacks from mutants. Not all non-cosmic champions, just mutants. He is supposed to be Mutant Doomsday. When Bastion reaches 5 or more armor ups, opponent is inflicted with non-stacking tracking passive that bypasses miss effects indefinitely until Bastion have less than 5 armor ups. And what does it mean? Like, for example, Kitty Pryde, Stripe, Danny Moonstar, or Professor X will be used against him. And that means that they are unable to face, miss anything through him. And each time Bastion blocks opponent's attacks, his passive generates 9% of a bar of power, but when performing well-timed block, Bastion generates 12% of a bar of power. And the point is, I reduced his offensive combat power rate because it will be like Hulkling when he gains his buffs. Then when he's blocking, he generates power. So that will be really powerful. Defender. Bastion can trigger parry mastery against non-contact and energy attacks, so say goodbye to Onslaught. Heavy attack. First hit inflicts opponent with non-stacking heal block passive that prevents them from healing for 10 seconds. So just heal block stuff. Second hit of this attack poses all of plasma and degeneration effects. Yes, he's got degen. Currently an opponent for 15 seconds. So nothing to say that much, right? Right. Cybernetic hybrid. Always active. Bastion is 150% resistance to all bleed and poison effects known in the battle realm, and also grants him immunity to regeneration rate reduction from poisons, just like Mega Sentinel have. And yeah, the point is, she's like Cyborg, so she can be inflicted with bleed and poison, but she can't take damage from it. While Bastion, we've got two versions of him. First, from the comics. In the comics is a hybrid of Nimrod and Master Mode, while in X-Men 97 he's supposed to be a mutant mixed with Nimrod stuff. Like he's a hybrid between mutant and tech. So I just go a little bit 50-50. So, as an end of results of the merger between Nimrod and Master Mode makes him naturally immune to armor shatter effects. No armor break, you're gonna see why. Energy damage effects such as shock, neuroshock, say goodbye in Onslaught 2.0, incinerate, Nova Flame, man. Nova Flame, yes. It will be second champion with immunity to Nova Flame because first is Iceman. Cold Snap, Frostbite, Plasma, first champion with immunity to Plasma, Feedback and Plasma Build Up. Say goodbye to Havoc, Power Burn, Power Drain, and also against mutants. This is only against mutants. Bastion's ability accuracy can be modified or reduced. This stuff here is naturally, but this stuff here is against only mutants. Only mutants. Telepaths are unable to read Bastion's mind, which makes him immune to all reverse control and damage reflection effects. No telepathic stuff from, for example, Onslaught Sebastian 2, or any stuff like Professor X can do. Bastion's offensive combat power rate is reduced by 25%. This can be modified further by any means, and that's why I reduced this, because this power will be just the same, even worse. Hulkling power, offensive combat power rate is reduced by 20%. But again, this will be powerful power gain. Self-repair always active. Each time Bastion is inflicted with bleed, poison, or armor break effect, he activates self-repair passive that heals 3,794.82 of missing health over 8 seconds. If stunned, Bastion's system is refreshed and his self-repair is removed. Those self-repairs maxes out at the 3 stacks. So, this is why I didn't give him any bleed, poison, or armor break immunity, just to have fun with this region. I'm just wanting to remind you, he's not immune to heal black or any regeneration rate reduction effects. I mean, from poison, yes, it is. But no from poison, but no from petrify, I mean, for any wither, exhaustion, or anything like that. So, if you really want to fight him without fear of Seal Reaper, first point is don't take any armor break champions. Or any mutants, that's for sure. Because, like, Hercules, he can do some damage even with armor ups active on his opponent. Hercules is probably the favorite one on this stuff here because he's got true sense for Jean Grey and he is able to just rock through base jump. That's why, I mean, base jump is supposed to be tag champion, not combined. So cosmic champions like for example, Adam Warlock, Hulkling, Galen, Hercules, they are the best counters for him. Just like that. If Basin is suffering from any damage over time debuff or passive, and self-repair is active, his healing abilities are paused for the duration of this damage over time effect. Okay, I've got too far with Galen. Just don't go for special 2 and you'll be safe. I mean, damage over time effect equals pause for self-repair. It will be still healing, but pause. Teleportation evade, passive. Yes, Base-chan in the comics and in the series teleports sometimes, like from one point to another, just like Kurt. Yeah, Base-chan has a 20% chance to automatically evade any incoming attacks except special attacks. This chance increases to 30% chance against mutant champions. This chance also increased up to 100% chance when his black will be about to be broken with opponent's heavy attack. But after this, there's a 15-second cooldown. The timer is decreased by 3 seconds if patient performs interception. So yeah, if you want to get rid of this evade, just try to break his black with your heavy, even though that might be really risky. Then this evade will be shut down. And this timer is decreased by 3 seconds if he performs interception, just like Spunky can reduce his evade cooldown by interceptions. He can do the same. So we are going here with Techno-Organic Virus passive. In the comics, yeah, it was that was the thing. I guess that Warlock have something like that. I guess I changed it a little bit, I guess, if not the most. And so in the comics, let me read this. Techno-Organic Virus. Patient was exposed to a modified strain of Techno-Organic Virus by the villain Mainspring. With it, he gained the ability to transmute inorganic matter into techno-mechanical material that he had complete and total control over. So it works like his Sentinel's Prime, I guess. He was able to inflict them with this virus, and then he was able to control. No, sorry, I mean inorganic. Okay. So no, my bad. Not my bad. Forget about it. Because inorganic. If they will be organic, then he will be overpowered. But he's not. Yeah, my bad. Sorry. Okay, going back. So he's just able to control everything inorganic that he touches with this virus. So when Bastion strikes a non-cosmic opponent with heavy or special, he has 100% chance to inflict an indefinite techno-organic virus passive, dealing 30 damage and energy damage per second. However, against mutant, they inflicted with techno-organic virus on the start of the fight, with increased potency by 100%. When techno-organic virus is active, Opponent is unable to block and glance Bastion's medium, heavy, and special attacks. Techno-Organic Virus also reduces opponent's crit resistance to 0 when active, so this is working like standard passive. But this is something that nobody is immune to. While Techno-Organic Virus is active, opponents is suffering from minus 100% unstoppable and ability accuracy reduction. Ability accuracy, right? So, when Techno-Organic Virus is active, opponent is unable to block or glance his mediums, heavy, specials, which means that, for example, against Dust or any champion that Techno-Organic Virus is active on them, can't glance it all. Like Dust, there is Ant-Man, there is Strife, I guess. Yeah, Strife is able to just take rid of it. And there is Storm Pyramid X. And there is Cersei, but she's Cosmic, and this can't work on Cosmics. You know what I mean? Because Cosmics are his main arch enemies. And when Techno-Organic Virus is active, there is no unstoppable and be purified. So Cork, yeah, he's pretty much dead. So let's get back to the signature ability. Tolerance is extinction. This is reference to X-Men 97. Potency of Bastion's plasmas and degeneration damage is increased by 15% up to 36 for each prowess buff or passive currently on the opponent. So if opponents have any prowess and plasma or degen is active on them, oh, that's gonna be nasty. Like, imagine you somehow survived Jean's Grey Special 3 and you're using Bastion. She got 100%, she's got 100 prowesses and plasma is active. She will be dead after a few minutes, maybe not minutes, seconds, maybe 50 seconds, and she probably will be dead. Yeah, against hero block immune champions, Bastion inflicts instead the opponent with Degen passive that deals 2183 direct damage over 10 seconds. And while this is active, it's reducing opponent's regeneration rate and ability power rate by 50 up to 100%. So against hero block immune champions like Werewolf by Night or Nebula, Degen will do the job. And there will be pause for this Degen, so this guy will break some stuff. Bastion's self-repair healing is increased by 10% up to 25, while any plasma or Degen is active on the opponent. So self-repair plus plasma or Degen, it will be more healing stuff. So special attacks. Yeah, special attacks is something that would nullify his ability with this stuff up here, because each hit invalidates 3 stack of prowess, and each time Bastion removes prowess this way, he'd use burst of 933 energy damage. All of Bastion's personal passive and debuffs are paused during his special attacks, and Bastion special attacks bypass his opponent's armor and resistance if they are suffering from Techno-Organic Virus. Yeah, so basically...
That's crazy.
So wait a second. specialty. So basically, all Bastion personal passives and debuffs are paused during the special, so you know what it means. Like pause for these effects. And Bastion special attacks bypass opponent's armor and resistance if they're suffering from techno-organic virus. So no matter what kind of resistance or armor, you just bypass it. So special 1. Prime technology. Bastion performs a painful knee kick, then fires powerful energy bolts from his cables, tentacles from his backs, and his final gut punch causing an explosion of energy from his fist. Fist. 7 hits. So first thing is like he just jumps out with knee kick, and then he just goes back and shots energy bolts from his cables on his back. I don't know with what I showed to, compare this to, but just cables on his backs, and then this gut punch with burst of energy. And each hit inflicts plasma passive, and it is dealing burst of 3091% 0.22 energy damage. So this is like Red Skull special 1, dealing burst of energy damage. On activation, Bastion inflicts the opponent with indefinite techno-organic virus passive. So yeah, no matter what armor and resistance. And thus his grants Bastion unstoppable passive for 5 seconds. Just like with Red Skull. But Red Skull special 2 grants him unstoppable buff, not passive. But that's the point. Special 2. Operation Zero Tolerate. So Bastion generates a large shockwave and then fires a powerful energy beam from his hands. 5 hits. And I will explain this that way. First hit is just like explosion from an Onslaught special 1, and then it goes powerful beams from his hands as are the last hits. And to dex it, I was thinking like just dex, and then there's a split of second when he goes up to start his slaughter, energy slaughter, which are then 2 hits, which is dex, split of seconds because his second hit is shot at you, and it's dex. Why I'm saying this? This attack is passively unblockable unless techno-organic virus is active on the opponent, because if techno-organic virus is active, you can't block his specials. So this anyway, and either this way or this way, you will be needed to dex his special 2 if somehow you just let him go for this. Don't let him go for the special 2, that's the point. On activation, Bastion consumes all plasma stacks to deal burst of 3155.77 energy damage per each plasma consumed. Additionally, each energy burst power burns 65 of the opponent's bar of power and deals 861.75 energy damage per each percentage power burned. And this last hit passively stuns the opponent for 4 seconds. So this is supposed to be like Nimrod's specialty with massive energy burst in kinda spunky special 1 style. Like he's consuming his prowess, his ruptures, and he's dealing this burst of physical damage. Yeah, this is exactly like this. And special 3, Future Incarnate. This is something that will be just big banger. Bastion undergoes an impressive transformation and, flying in the air with his opponent, severely beats him in the process, eventually landing with the opponent below him. And as a final finish, he fires a beam of destructive energy from his mouth. So yeah, total beatdown plus massive destruction. 12 hits. Bastion, after entering his second common form, he gains indefinite protection passive that reduces incoming damage from any sources by 65%. And his transformation is exactly the same if you watched X97, his last transformation with these metal wings. This is just the same. This is exactly this transformation. And he gives a protection passive. And when protection passive is active, charging heavy grants him unstoppable until the second hit, and protection additionally allows personal plasmas bypassing opponent's damage cap. So stuff like Necropolis, it was Labyrinth of Legends, I guess? No matter. This plasma will deal massive bursts. So if you're fighting in long-term content, go for the special 3. Do just then, go for your basic rotation with specials 1, then special 2 to deal insane damage. An opponent is afflicted with Degen passive that deals 40% of Bastion's armor rating as direct damage over 10 seconds. So just Degen damage, right? So my dears,